Somewhere in the Black Mountain Hills of Dakota, there lived a young boy named Rocky Raccoon. One day, his woman ran off with another guy. Hit young Rocky in the eye. Rocky didn't like that. He said, I'm gonna get that boy. So he walked into town and booked himself a room in the local saloon. Rocky Raccoon stepped into his room, only to find Gideon's Bible. Rocky had come equipped with a gun to shoot off the legs of his rival. His rival, it seems, had broken his dreams by stealing the girl of his fancy. Her name was McGill. She called herself Lil, but everyone knew her as Nancy. Now she and her man, who called himself Dan, were in the next room at the hoedown. Rocky burst in, grinning a grin. He said, Danny boy, this is a showdown. Ooh, but Daniel was hot, and he drew first and shot. And Rocky collapsed in the corner. Ooh, now the doctor came in, stinking of gin, and proceeded to lie on the table. He said, Rocky, you met your match. Rock said, Doc, it's only a scratch, and I'll be better as soon as I am able. Rocky Raccoon fell back in his room, only to find Gideon's Bible. Gideon checked out, he left it no doubt to help with good Rocky's revival. There's the Beatles for you. Hey, it's criminals and misdemeanors tonight. Criminals and misdemeanors. All songs about criminals and misdemeanors. I'm going to play some of my favorites. Some of my favorite stuff is about criminals and misdemeanors. So I'm glad you're here. It's Wednesday Night Live starting at 8 o'clock, okay? If you share this video, it would really please me. The show is free. I accept your tips, and I appreciate them. If you'd like to do that, that's fine if you have the means. So, hey, I'll be right back, okay? Cool.
I fought the law, and my lawyer won. Now I'm sitting here listening to the clicking of an unloaded gun. Thought about the bridge, maybe jumping in the muddy river. Thought about a razor blade, but that just made my spine quiver. If I told you all I've done, you'd have to kill me. And I've thought about letting my story loose on you a time or two. But if I filled you with my burden, you can be certain that you'd want to go do your own self in too. Intervene, intervene. Yeah, let me till I'm clean. Cry, cry for me. Intervene. When I was a kid, I never did it. My sister always did. And ever since I've been embracing a similar fib, Dad would say, do unto others before they do it unto you. So I took the golden rule and I beat it black and I beat it blue. Intervene, intervene. Yeah, let me till I'm clean. Cry, cry for me. Die, burn me and all my lies up, and spread them on all the messes that in my lifetime I messed up. Take a little pinch and give it to my friends. Take a little pinch, give it to my aunts. Take a little pinch and address it up to heaven. Spread it on the soul of my poor uncle. Take half a pinch and give it to my mistress. Take the other half and give it to my ex-wife. Take a little pinch and keep it for yourself, stored in a Ziploc baggie next to some cleaning supplies on a dark and dirty shelf. Take a big pinch and give it to my kids. Take a big pinch and give it to my mother and my wife. My wife will probably say something like, is that bastard finally dead? And if I was alive, I would say, oh, that's what she said. Intervene, intervene. Yeah, let me till I'm clean.
Have I been bad? You bet I have. Am I glad? No way can I say that. 1,000 laughs wouldn't make me a grinner, but just one sin made me the sinner. I had a girl, I called her baby. She had a man, she called him daddy. Her ring was his time was mine, and I took his life with her on my mind. I've got a curse, it's grabbing at me. I've got a nurse, she's poking at me. I saw the light, but it got dimmer. Oh, my fat chance, it's getting thinner. When I first saw her, I ain't lying, my tears, they came out like I was crying. She had hair like fire and a voice like a soft tune. This had me howling, feeling young and new. But she was tied and I was bound to find a way to bring their love down. If I had the big bucks, I would have surely spent it. I would have paid some other man. I would have had him go end it. But I was broke, so that left just me. Go load my 30-30. It dropped some deer and it fed me meat. And it knocked her daddy right off his feet. I took his past, I took his memories, old and new. I took all he had, and all he would have too. I've got a curse, it's grabbing at me. I've got a nurse, she's poking at me. I saw the light, but it got dimmer. Oh, my fat chance, it's getting thinner. Now I've done 10 in this state pen. Do I have regrets? I've got about 2. One is my mama, 2 is my baby, 1 is long gone, the other never forgave me. All right. Hey, hello, everybody. Todd Burge here doing songs, crimes, and misdemeanors. Hey, William Reynolds, historians do listen to music. Right on. Can you hear okay? Tell me if you can hear okay. Is everybody hearing my guitar okay? You hearing my voice okay? Richard Anderson in Baltimore, thank you for coming in. Wayne Riley's inside this week, sadly. The ukulele player in Marietta. He's usually outside. Hey, Sean, thank you so much, man. Jeff Fox. Jeff, good to see you here. Cindy, Michael, Mullins. Mom's here. Kevin Perel. Hey, thank you, Laura. Thank you. Leanne Galucci. Oh, right on. I was glad you're home too, Leanne. It's good to see you. Say hello to Swampy. Hello, Rena. Say hi to Doug. And Brother Max is here. I think I saw him. Did I say hello? Yes. So if you missed it, I played a Beatles tune at the front of the show, 10 minutes till. I'm going to do a little one song of 10 minutes till to get ready for things each week when I do this. And Big Daddy Burge calling in from Paris. Anyway, let's get right on it here. What's next? Here's a song from my album that I recorded at John Prine's studio there in Nashville, The Butcher Shop, with Tim O'Brien. And Tim O'Brien produced this album, did a fine job on this song. And this is basically, well, it's called The Good Times of Life. Let me get my G harmonica, because I know you want to hear the G harmonica. Okay, here it is. You were worried about it, weren't you? Worried about the G harmonica. Josh, hey, how's it going there? Good to see you guys. Good to see everybody. Thank you so much. The good times of life. Lots of bad deeds going on in here. We weren't rich and we weren't poor, but the neighbor kid next door could not say the same. His playhouse was the place where all the who's who in the hood would come and play their games. One day they split and locked me up in there and sprayed me like a bug that had just gasped at his last breath. Mark this down as the good times of life that haven't quite killed me yet. It was a 1972 panel wagon with powered windows and rear views too. And my first time driving solo, I bought those wide mouths in Ohio in that lawless drive-through. Then me and Beth made the rounds as tiny towns were all a blur, and how I got her home, I forget. Mark this down as the good times of life that haven't quite killed me yet. Drew was in the service, and as an expert in munitions, he proudly served. He had the know-how, took a pow, and drove us down that country road that turned and swerved. A 50-pound pumpkin packed with a gizmo ready set blew our minds as the lights stopped blinking red. Mark this down as the good times of life that haven't quite killed me yet. I was just a college boy who couldn't keep his mind employed beyond his corduroy pants. She was a girl I barely knew who had a man who was a bruiser, but still I took a chance. I broke in her bedroom window for some coffee, tea or me, before he dropped her off in all her sundressed mess. Mark this down as the good times of life that haven't quite killed me yet. Now she and me have doubled down, and after years of being two, we two have turned into 2 times 2. And those kids, they grow so fast, not 1 minute ever lasts, and those, oh, our lives, they just blast on past. I got it. 1 minute, it's a smile. The next, an added trial. Yet I'd never trade it. You better know it, you better bet. Mark this down as the good times of life that haven't quite killed me yet. Now I travel around from show to show, hiding behind my rhymes while revealing all I'll never know. Truth be told, I do love it so, but I'd be lying if I didn't say I daily miss my home. Every note has a cost, that's the price for being lost in a song with a tune that's set. Mark this down as the good times of life that haven't quite killed me yet. Good times of life. That's from Imitation Life. And this is Wireman. He's on the cover of Imitation Life. I've shown him here before, but this was a wedding present from the Reverend Nick Berry, and it was made for us. He went out to his barn that he had a bunch of scrap things in there, and he would make these little. Oh, he'd make this art, barn art. There's a tube in there. There's a tube right there from an amplifier. There's a guitar plug-in right there. For me, there's a measuring spoon. Lisa's a chef, and other various things. That's Wireman. Say hello to Wireman. Oh yeah. Well, tomorrow's hey Jim up in Canada. Nice to see you here. Thank you so much. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's well. Tomorrow's Earth Day. Celebrating Earth Day every day, but it's good to have an Earth Day. Tomorrow's also Larry Gross's birthday, I believe. My friend and yours. Last week, Larry said he watched the show. I don't think he doesn't have an account, so he doesn't comment. But if he's hiding here and watching the show this week, happy birthday tomorrow. Thanks, Connie. Anyway, this goes out to Larry. This is a song he does on his album, his latest album. It's called Live Forever is the album, but this is a Townes Van Zandt song for you. Living on the road, my friend, was gonna keep you free and clean. Now you wear your skin like iron, breath as hard as kerosene. Weren't your mama's only son, but a favorite one it seems. She began to cry when you said goodbye and drifted to your dreams. Poncho was a bandit boy, his horse as fast as polished steel. He wore his gun outside his pants for all the honest world to feel. Poncho met his match, you know, in the desert down in Mexico. Nobody heard his dying word. So this story goes. always say they could have had him any day. They only let him slip away. Out of kindness, I suppose. Lefty, he can't sing the blues all night long like he used to. The dust that Poncho left heading south wound up in Lefty's mouth. The day they laid poor Poncho low, Lefty split for Ohio, where he got the bread to go. There ain't nobody knows. All the federalists say they could have had him any day. They only let him slip away. Out of kindness, I suppose. The poets tell how Poncho fell and left us living in a cheap hotel. The desert's quiet and Cleveland's cold, so this story ends, I'm told. Poncho needs your prayers, it's true, but say a few for Lefty too. He only did what he had to do. He's growing old. A few good federalists say they could have had that boy that day. They only let him slip away. Out of kindness, I suppose. Poncho and Lefty by Townes Van Zandt. Here's a song for a historian, and this song, nobody knows who wrote this song. It was just passed down and passed down and passed down and finally landed on me, and goes like this. Thank you, Jim and Connie. How about putting a link to the damn event on the event page? Well, let's see. I think the link, it should have been there, but if it wasn't, it could have been my fault. Sorry about that. You couldn't find it. I tell you what, if you're ever, I'm glad you're here, David. Sorry you had trouble finding me. If you go to Todd Burge on Facebook, it'll just show up. It should just show up at the top on Wednesdays at 8. And glad you're here. All right, here we go. Moonshiner. Hey, I appreciate you bringing it up, David, really. I've been a moonshiner for 17 long years. I spent all my money on whiskey and beer. I go to some holler and I set up my still. If whiskey don't kill me, I don't know what will. I go to some barroom and drink with my friends, where women can follow and see what I spend. God bless them, pretty women. How I wish they were mine. Breath is as sweet as dew on the vine. Give me food when I'm hungry, and drink when I'm dry, and dollars when I'm hard up, religion when I die. The whole world is a bottle and life but a dram. When the bottle gets empty, it sure ain't worth a damn. Thank you very much. Mike Stocky, good to see you. Audra Hale, good to see you. I'll read your comments later. Hey David, no offense, really. This is good. This is a good conversation to have. Yes, Uncle Tupelo did that song, and I love that version. I heard it on Dylan's the first official bootleg that came out in the 90s or whatever, and he has a really great version of it as well. It's hard to go wrong with that one. So here's a song off of my '90 album. It's called The Kids Are Getting Out of Hand. And we're singing Crimes and Misdemeanors. Go on. Sam and Carrie, at the end of 52 they got very married, one in white and one in blue. And Carrie carried one baby times two. They knew they'd be happy, me and two times two. The two babies came, one boy and one girl. I don't remember both names, but the girl, she was a real pearl. Now, Pearl threw fits, she threw a little bit of food, and Sam assured Carrie that he could throw a few things too, he said. The kids are getting out of hand, I'm a-gonna whack 'em with the backhand. Then they'll understand when on their cheek for 2 solid weeks is the red and blue knot, 'cause Daddy forgot. Daddy forgot to take off his wedding band. I used my left hand, forgot the wedding band. I hope they understand. Oh, I remember now, the boy's name was Ted, but his friends all called him by his nickname instead. Now, Cal wasn't big, he just ate a lot of beef, and at only 6 years old he was out there playing on the streets. Now Carrie caught Cal and his best friend Dave. They were staying up late and pretended to behave. Jumping on the beds, they broke another lamp. Well, she was fed to her neck, so she went and she told Sam, and he said, "The kids are getting out of hand, I'm a-gonna whack 'em with a backhand. And they'll understand when on their cheek for 2 solid weeks is the red and blue knot, 'cause Daddy forgot to take off his wedding band. I used my left hand, forgot the wedding band. I hope they understand." Now Ted grew up, he became wedding bound. Pearl grew too, she never stayed around town. Pearl never ever talked to her mom, but between dad and son there was some sort of strange male bond. Oh yeah. It was Monday night football taped for Tuesday afternoon. Dad got hot that fall, he went up like a hot air balloon. Daddy got steamed about his son's favorite team, but a brutal dream made old Cal turn mean, and he said, "Hey, Pop, I think you're getting out of hand. I'm gonna whack you with a backhand. And you'll understand when on your cheek for 2 solid weeks is the red and blue knot, 'cause your son forgot to take off his wedding band. I used my left hand just like my old man, man. Amen, man." Thank you so very much. Yes, Michael, of course I can see you. I can see you right there watching me. All right. Hey, here's what we're going to do. All right, here's what we'll do. I'm going to do this little thing here. This is showing my latest album, live in Parkersburg. Todd Burge live in Parkersburg. And I want to talk to you for a minute. And if you'd like to tip me, you can do it at toddburge.com. There's no way you could miss that link. If you go to toddburge.com, it's plastered right there at the top. And I'm going to try to post some of my streams up there if you've missed some. But anyway, toddburge.com is a place to go tip, and I really appreciate that. Thus far this evening. Let's see, what have I played thus far? In case you're wondering where these are, this album is not available on CD form. Of course, I have this one, but this is mine. I might re-release this on CD at some point if there seems to be a desire for people to have it. But I recorded this with my bandmates 63 Eyes. We switched instruments and we did this acoustic album. I wrote all these songs on here, and the first one I opened with tonight at 8 o'clock was My Fat Chances Getting Thinner, is off of Dreams Upstairs from the year 2000. And The Good Times of Life, I mentioned that. There's Wire Man, Imitation Life, with Tim O'Brien, and what a phenomenal band he put together for that album. And then we had Poncho and Lefty, of course. You can get Townes Van Zandt or Willie Nelson doing that, or Larry Gross. Moonshiner, we talked about that one. I haven't recorded Moonshiner. I haven't released it. And then The Kids Are Getting Out of Hand that I just did is off of my 1990 album, Never Say Uncle. And I had these. I made a few of these last year for the 30th anniversary, and those are available, remastered version of Never Say Uncle. Thanks for putting up with my commercial. Now back to here's a song called "Grow Up," and you have to when you have to suspend your disbelief for this one. Imagine me as an 85-year-old woman, and maybe a 2-pack a day, with a 2-pack a day habit. Crimes and misdemeanors. This one definitely was not a misdemeanor. This is a true story too, by the way. For 35 years we were married, me and he, but he never seemed to need to add to our family tree. We traveled all around like two wide-eyed hippies, but I had to let go of always feeling so retro and say, grow up, sprout out of the ground, let your colors shine like the springtime as the sun beams down on my weathered brow. All you got to do for now is grow up. Is it wrong for a woman to need a better life with a man who puts at bay his way so childlike he could bring home the bacon instead of acting like a swine? Put away the pop, have a little sip of wine, and grow up, sprout out of the ground. Let your colors shine like the springtime as the sun beams down on my weathered brow. All you got to do for now is grow up. shovel, I'm handy with my spade. And when he wasn't looking, I was handy with my blade. Now he's in my garden, pushing up my daisy. Some may say I'm crazy, but now my love must do as I say, as I say. Grow up, sprout out of the ground, let your colors shine like the springtime as the sun beams down on my weathered ground. All you got to do for now is grow. Come on, baby, have a drink of water. Let me turn your dirt. Da, ba, ba, da, ba. Grow up. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Josh. Thank you, David. So this song came out in 1993. This particular song, and I've played it on and off quite a bit over the years. And I had a bar restaurant type place ask me if they could license it to use as an advertisement for a special they've got every week. And so I don't know, maybe we're working out that deal. But hey, Bill Withers always used to say, "What's wrong with selling out? You know, what's wrong? I like full houses. What's wrong with selling out?" Anyway, we'll see if that happens. I don't know. It's called Draft Beer for 10 Dimes. He said, "Are you gonna shoot some pool, or am I gonna have to listen to you shoot your mouth off the rest of the night?" I said, "Settle down, boy," and that's as far as I got, and like I was employed and he was my boss. Said, "Hey, boy," no one man ever called me boy. It was draft beer for 10 dimes, and I'd been saving mine, wanting to unwind. And it looked like I had the most right to be the most tight that night. And as usual, the regulars were there. They said they'd find it unusual or irregular if there wasn't a little bit of fresh blood or dirt on my favorite wear shirt. They said whoever stood in his way with something stupid or even semi-smart to say would soon lack a few teeth and be flat on his back, hurting bad for about a week. It was draft beer for 10 dimes, and I'd been saving mine, wanting to unwind. And it looked like I had the most right to be the most tight that night. Now, for those of you who know the song well, you'll know that I missed a verse. And I think that verse goes like this. See, when when I miss a verse, nobody gets hurt. Not physically, anyway. Maybe emotionally. Now, I didn't mean to yank him the wrong way. I'd had a bad day at work, kind of where nothing ever really seems to work. I had on my favorite worst shirt, and I could just visualize him lying tummy down, eating a little bit of pool hall dirt. It was draft beer for 10 dimes, and I'd been saving mine, wanting to unwind. But it looked like he had the most right to be the most time. And oh yes, I love the John Hartford. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you so much. Well, I've got a couple more songs for you. And here we go. Oh, I should have mentioned that as I was showing you my CDs, Grow Up, the song Grow Up is off this 2012. Actually, Don Dixon, maybe you know Don Dixon, he produced REM and, he plays in Mary Chapin Carpenter's band, but James McMurtry, REM, Joan Baez, and others, we recorded this in Nashville at Tim O'Brien's house. Tim O'Brien helped on this one as well. Kenny Malone on there, Don Dixon playing bass. Anyway, Grow Up's on there, full band treatment. Draft beer for 10 dimes is on this. 10 cents. And then the next song is off this. A lot of people call this Live at Ravelers, but it's actually Live at Ravelers, okay? Live at Ravelers, 1997. Don Dixon just did the newest Gin Blossoms out. That's right, he did do the Gin Blossoms. Actually, I was reading Don Dixon's lyric. He has this great book of lyrics called Songs 101, 101 songs, Don Dixon. I was reading Don's book tonight, and it's quite interesting just as poetry to read through Don's lyrics. I highly recommend that. He's a great guy. Good friend. Okay. Here we go. What am I doing? Oh, songs. This was really some of the songs are not all that, have a lot of some truth in them, and then there's some lies in there. Some of them are totally fictional. Some of them, the song Grow Up, I took that from a headline that was a real story, but as a songwriter, I don't mind lying if it leads me to a decent rhyme or a good line. So it's all fair game, I believe. But this song is pretty darn true right here. I wrote this after my first performance at the Barking Spider there on Case Western Reserve's campus. R.J. Cowdery turned me on to the Barking Spider years ago, and I got lost leaving. This would have been in the Clinton years. During the Clinton years, I wrote this song. During Three Strikes You're Out, that era, and in the evening I would leave shows. A lot of times I'd leave shows, and AM radio signals were really strong late at night, and I would flip around and listen to Larry King, and sometimes I'd listen and argue with Rush Limbaugh, and things of that sort. They'd re-air some of the daytime shows at night, and anyway, this trying to get back home to West Virginia from Cleveland. That's what this song's about, basically. 3 strikes, and you're out. 2 strikes, you're a little bit down. 1 strike might send a king off to play golf. That same strike might get a pauper a much lesser offer. What if 1 strike went right to your pretty daughter's face? She'd have to hide that mark when she wanted to go just about any place. Way back when things were a bit more fair, the only care in her world was the perfect curl in her hair and how the boys would stare. Must have had a friend, must have had all kinds of friends. Once had a voice and a whole lot of choice. A whole lot of choice. Now, I was leaving a show one night in Cleveland, Ohio. My right hand was fishing around in my car's interior for a map. The next thing you know, instead of going down 77 South, I was driving up to get a big drink out of a lake at the upper edge of the state. Now, I could have been driving just about any place. There was paint rotting off the houses and holes in the streets. There were beer cans along the curb, and about every other block my sore eyes would see the bright green, squeaky clean sign that read, BP, like a light watching over me. So I drove up to get directions and a big bag of potato chips, but the door was locked and the speaker was broken, so we had to read each other's lips. And man, I thought I'd thank that lady kindly, but just about then she flipped me the bird. And when I looked down in that sliding metal box, I saw a small container of paper clips. She didn't see a single word. Must have had a friend, must have had all kinds of friends. Once had a voice and a whole lot of choice. Now, I don't know about the land of the free, but I can see the home of the brave. It's behind bulletproof plastic at a BP station in Cleveland. So I got in my car with no more sense of direction than when I arrived at that serviceless station. It was just about then that I met my escort. Came in the form of a police car, the finest in Ohio, he said. What's a white West Virginia boy doing driving a Geo at 1 a.m. in the Cleveland ghetto? Well, I filled him in on my show and everything else I thought he'd like to know. I said, I'm trying to connect up with 77 South, and he said, follow me, boy. I best direct you out. And man, I thought I'd seen it all until I saw a lady sleeping in the street while I was cranking up my heat and tuned in to a rebroadcast of Rush Limbaugh. Must have had a friend, must have had all kinds of friends. Once had a voice, must have made that her choice. A whole lot of choice. A whole lot of choice, a whole lot of choice. Whole lot of choice. There you go, folks. Thank you so very much for being here with me on Wednesday nights. I'm here. I try to be here every single Wednesday. I haven't missed many of them over the last months, but appreciate you being. I really appreciate you tipping the tip jar at toddburge.com, and you would probably see the link there for my PayPal or my Venmo or whatever it is, however you would like to do that. And I'd like you to know that has literally gotten me through gotten me through COVID, and it's been I'm just been so fortunate to be able to play these shows and come to you in this way, and I thank you so much for helping us through this. Thanks, Wayne. Yeah, the hour does go fast, doesn't it? Okay, so speaking of, the next song is on my live album, which is trying to get, there it is, Todd Burge, live in Parkersburg. I recorded this one live. Thanks, Michael. Thank you. Thank you, Aurora. Thank you so much. Good to see you. This is also, if you go to Mountain Stage's website, there's a recent Mountain Stage. I just played their 37th anniversary show. Well, when I say I just played it, it was in December. But it just aired 2 or 3 weeks ago on public radio, NPR, and all that. But if you, there are a lot of songs. Gerald Scott's on that show, and Suzy Roach, and Lucy Wainwright, and Kathy Mattea, and Larry Gross plays a song at the end. And you get to hear everything. If you go to the podcast is now there. It was a wonderful celebration. We didn't have an audience. We just clapped for each other. That was a little weird. It was good to see everybody and celebrate the 37th anniversary of Mountain Stage. If you go to their website, I play this song on there, and others, and come all you old-time cowboys, listen to my song. I assure you won't grow weary as I won't detain you long. Concerning some wild cowboys who did agree to go and spend the summer pleasant on the range of the buffalo. Well, I found myself in Griffin in 1883, when a man by the name of Crago came walking up to me. He said, "How do you do, young fella? How would you like to go and spend the summer pleasant on the range of the buffalo?" Oh, me, bang. I'll get it. Me being out of work right then, to the drover I did say, heading out on the buffalo range depends upon the pay. And if you pay good wages and transportation to and fro, I think I might go with you on the range of the buffalo. Let me know if the show's getting too slick for you. Well, of course I pay good wages and transportation too, if you agree to work with me until the season's through. But if you do get homesick and try to run away, you'll surely lose your pay. You'll lose your life and your family will never see your pay. Now with all that flattering talking to the drover I did say, heading out on the buffalo range. I'm all piling up here. Let's see. With all this flattering talking, he signed up quite a crew. some 10 or 12 in number, able-bodied through and through. And our trip, it was a pleasant one all through New Mexico, until we crossed the Pease River on the range of the buffalo. It was there our pleasures ended and the trouble all began. The lightning striking on us, the cattle they all ran. We got all full of stickers from the cactus that did grow. And the bandits waited to pick us off the hills of Mexico. Well, the working season ended, but the drover did not pay. He said, "You drank up all your money, boys, and you're all in debt to me." But us cowboys never cared for his corrupt, bankrupt tone. So we left that bastard's bones to bleach on the range of the buffalo. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been great to be with you. I appreciate it. Appreciate the once again. I appreciate the tips and you picking up. I'll show you my bundle, the Burge bundle here at the end, and I've got lots of CDs here. I've got a limited supply in this room here, and I've got another limited supply in the room over there. So. And if I sell them all, I'll get another limited supply for you. How's that? But really appreciate it. Thanks everyone. Thank you, Brother Max down in Florida. Thank you so much, Rena down the road. Wayne there in Marietta, Cassandra, everybody. Thank you. Thanks, Dad and Mom and everybody. Michael, Aurora, Leanne, Wayne, That's as far as my list goes up. There's Mom, yeah, again. Mark, Thomas, Josh, everybody. David, thank you so much. I'll see you next week, okay? Love you guys. Together we are for the first time. A common enemy has us together distantly.